They have been working on this for some time, and I'm aware that the stakeholders have been unhappy about it. The Ghana Airport Company has been reluctant. The airlines feel this would make their work even more difficult, knowing very well that after the COVID, many airlines and related businesses are still trying to recover. So, and you will notice that airfares are quite high currently, even domestic and international, things worse. To suggest that Ghana Airport Company or the airlines should charge $7 per passenger for something they are calling fumigation of bags, it's an absurdity. They are looking for another opportunity to continue charging Ghanaians for this. And I'm saying that we are not going to accept that. In the first place, no agency under government have the right to make impose additional charges without the knowledge of Parliament. So whoever is behind this, another obnoxious tax, should back off. Passengers don't deserve this kind of treatment, and I encourage airlines to disregard this for now until the time that we all come to a conclusion whether this is relevant. What is the meaning of what they call it, fumigation of bags? We've been doing fumigation in this country. Everybody complains about it. So I think this is a very serious matter that must be brought to the attention of everybody. And we are hopeful that the relevant committee in Parliament is not aware that there's this legitimacy of this charge, and trying to cajole airlines to immediately implement this is illegal, and government must back off. This is not right.
Chief Whip also claimed that this is an avenue by some government officials to steal from the ordinary Ghanaian, even in these challenging economic times.
And before you even do fees and charges, the relevant agencies ought to discuss this, because this is not a normal charge. I mean, I've never seen anything like fumigation of bags before. In any case, what is the meaning of fumigation of bags that we needed to be charging passengers $7? So, I mean, what kind of chemical are you going to be using? What contamination are we talking about? And that is why I think that this is a very, very unnecessary attempt to basically take close to $15 million per annum from passengers. Because last year, if you look at the figures, the international passenger throughput was about 1.8 million passengers, and which is still growing. If you add the domestic, it will be more than that. So I think that we need to have a better discussion about it, but this is not the time. The airlines are struggling. Recovery is slow still, and people are just squeezed. People don't fly because of luxury. They fly because it is necessary. And I don't think we should be thinking of making life more difficult for the airlines and passengers. We should be thinking of actually making life easier for them. And I think that whichever section of government is behind this should back off. As far as I'm concerned, it's only Parliament of Ghana that can impose taxes, fees and charges, if you not call it. As far as I'm aware, nothing as such has come to the attention of Parliament. So whoever is thinking of this, if you try to implement it, it will have been an illegality. And if you disregard it, we wouldn't have been breaking any law, because Parliament did not actually approve any $7 or so for fumigation of bags on airlines.
Away from transport-related stories, let's touch on mining, because government says it is committed to ending illegal mining with the establishment of small-scale community mining schemes. Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, George Mrekuduka, says illegal mining generally occurs in abandoned shafts or within improperly closed mines. Addressing or adding that government will implement intermediate and permanent measures to manage these sites and coordinate long-term monitoring systems. He was speaking at the commissioning of the Etwemanso Community Mining Scheme in the Ashanti region. Love FM's Nana Boachi Yadom has more in this report.
The negative impact of illegal mining is visible across the country, manifesting in deforestation, water pollution, and the destruction of livelihoods. The use of toxic chemicals such as mercury and cyanide to extract gold contaminates rivers and the soil. Speaking at the commissioning of the small-scale community mining scheme at Achumanso, Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources George Emikutuka reiterated government's commitment to fighting the menace with the establishment of small-scale community mining schemes.
Galamsey has been in existence for years, even before I was born. It's been years, decades, but it's the government's vision and effort to ensure that we sanitize the sector. So put up gamut of measures together that could, in a way, help in resolving this canker. If you go to South Africa, we have them. They call them zamazama. They are all over. Anywhere there is gold, there's this kind of illegalities. So as a government, we will put up a strong campaign against it. And I will also urge you that you must be part of this effort in differentiating community mining from Galamsey. Community mining is not Galamsey.
According to him, the establishment of the scheme is to create job opportunities for the youth.
I would say, even in my constituency, it's taking on board about 5,000. The community mine, one community mine that we have. With this, we are earmarking 2,000. If you talk of about not less than 15 community mining schemes that we've put together, and if each is averagely employing even 1,000, so that alone should tell you the quantum. If it's employing, let's say, 2,000, it should tell you the indirect benefit. So it's something that is really encouraging. You can pick this instinct from people gathered here.
District Chief Executive Clement Opoku Jemfi believes the establishment of the scheme will go a long way to help curb the canker.
I'm excited because this will go a long way to curb the illegal mining menace, and which is has become an albatross around the neck of this government. And so we are trying as much as possible to solving these issues. And the best way to solve them is to regulate the activities. You cannot regulate an illegality. The more reason why the government has come up with community mining scheme, which will be regulated by the state. And I think it's a good policy that we all have to embrace it.
Reporting for Joy News, Nana Boache Dankwa-Yadom, Achumanso.
Away from the Ashanti region, let me take you to the Volta region, where they have been thirsty for decades despite being surrounded by abundant water. That's the plight of residents of Seva, an island community in the Kita constituency of the Volta region. Several appeals to local and central governments have only attracted empty promises. My colleague Emmanuel Jivenu highlights the plight of several residents, including children, sourcing water from a dugout at a cemetery.
Seva, a land and its people who remain thirsty although they are surrounded by abundant water on every side. Seva is one of the island communities forming the archipelago of the Keita Lagoon. The residents are mostly fisherfolks and petty traders. In this village, there's an abundance of food and fish, but the same cannot be said of water available for cooking and drinking. Access to potable water is a constant struggle for the individuals living here. The water that surrounds them is salty. Nursing mothers are forced to reuse dirty water for other chores at home. Residents, including children, have to trek several kilometers to Anyako, a neighboring community, to access drinking water. Some houses have constructed reservoirs to harvest rainwater for their domestic use. They sell what they store to other households. During the dry season, when water is scarce, residents comb everywhere and anywhere for water, including the cemetery.
We went to the cemetery to get water because we don't have water in the house or in the community. So we have to try our best to go there and fetch water, bath, or wash our clothes or our school uniforms. Sometimes we have some water there, but not plenty. If the rain comes, the water, some water, yes, collects there. So it helps us. We know that the water from the cemetery is not good, but we don't have any option. So we drink it or use it to cook.
The water in Seva is a major concern to everyone, especially the chiefs and elders.
Remember, you're still watching Joy News Prime with me, Pius Kujubaka. More after this break. Hello, welcome back. The man making a difference through farming, Isaac Ajawoto, has been crowned the overall winner at the maiden edition of the Joy News Impact Maker Awards. Isaac founded the Farm for Livelihood Association in Adarfor. The organization, which operates in Adar, East and West, generates income from farms and uses it to support physically challenged persons and provide scholarships for less privileged students in his community. 9 other impact makers were also recognized at the event, which took place at the Labadi Beach Hotel. Isaac Ajawoto has been interacting with Maxwell Agbagba shortly after he was declared winner.
It was a night of celebration and recognition. One after the other, they were called on stage and their efforts duly acknowledged. 10 of them in a Lifetime Achievement Award. General Manager in charge of Joy Brands, Fifi Kumsin, says the Joy News Impact Makers Award is not only about recognizing the efforts of persons making positive impact in their communities, but also to inspire others to do same.
Through our features and documentaries, we speak truth to power and hold governments to account, done in the supreme interest of the public. The power of one person to change the world should never be underestimated. Often, it is the small, everyday acts of kindness and compassion that have the greatest impact.
Channel Manager of Joy News, Kwiku Suprepra, says Joy News will continue to project the works of persons who are helping to mitigate societal challenges.
Souls, to bring smiles to the faces of people. But they need to be known. They need to be seen. Their good work needs to be exhibited for others to support them. So at Multimedia, we would offer that platform for them to tell the rest of the world what they do and how far their investments go, so that others can support them, hold their hands as they continue to make tremendous impact.
CEO of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications and one of the judges, Ken Ashigbe, says we must all be agents of positive change.
Joy News, we thank you for helping Ghana become a country worth dying for.
Another judge, Gifty Auntie, says the Joy News Impact Makers Awards is worth emulating.
You have to start now. You can start tonight. You can start tomorrow morning. You can start tomorrow afternoon. Just start. and you'll be amazed where the support will come.
The overall winner, Isaac Ajawato. Please appreciate him.
Keep the applause going, please.
Founder of the Farm for Livelihood Association at Adafo, Isaac Ajawato emerged the overall winner at the maiden edition of the Joy News Impact Makers Awards. He says the spotlight Joy News has put on his charity work is already yielding positive results as more people are willing to support his efforts.
Now more people are seeing what we are doing, and I'm happy more people are coming and then are willing to come in to support through Joy News and the multimedia group. So we are very happy. We are very, very, very much happy for Joy News for this program, the Impact Makers for this program.
People say charity begins at home, but Isaac Ajawoto's charity does not always begin at home. His wife, Sarah Ajawoto, says her husband is sometimes compelled to use the little they have at home for his philanthropic work.
Working in a community, inspiring life in the community, giving needy to the needy in the community, I don't be easy. At times, even you realize that the home is dry.
Business story we have for you. The Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Brian Champon, is projecting an increase in soya production to 1 million metric tons by 2027. This, he believes, will make Ghana a global producer of soybean. Speaking at the launch of the Food and Agriculture Organization project to support soybean development in Ghana, Dr. Champon said Ghana is poised to develop the soybean industry.
There is a growing market for soybean in Ghana, with an increase in domestic demand consistently exceeding domestic supply. Data gathered by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture indicates that there has been a tremendous increase in the export of soya from Ghana. The competition for the crop as an export product is creating shortage of the commodity for use by the livestock, aquaculture and poultry industries, and has resulted in price hikes and its unavailability. The Food and Agriculture Organization and the Japanese government, under the auspices of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, has thus launched a project to support soybean production dubbed Support to Soybean Development Program in Ghana. Speaking at the launch, Agric Minister Dr. Brian Champon said Ghana will be a leading soybean producer by 2030.
In 2022, the total soybean produced in Ghana estimated to be around 250,000 metric tons. We intend to increase this number by 2027 to 1 million metric tons. Indeed, Ghana is the #1 producer of exporter of yam in the world, #2 cocoa in the world, and we are hoping that by 2030, Ghana will be the #1 exporter of soya in the world.
FAO representative to Ghana, Yerdi Yesmi, explained that the project is critical to ensuring food security and nutritional security following the impact of global crisis on the soya value chain.
And that's it for the bulletin. I am Pius Kojobaka. For more stories, log on to myjoyonline.com. Always a pleasure serving you. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.